It's showtime. What's up, good people? And welcome to the Frank Harris Show, the biggest, the baddest, the best, and the most provocative show on earth. And look who we got. My guy, Dominican E.
Frank,
Yo,
what's
E.
up, Frank, what's up?
What's the word up in the heights, baby? What's good, E?
Good, man. Before we get started, man, I want all our fans to continue to subscribe, like, and comment. We're almost there at 50,000, so continue to like, share, and comment. You know, we're almost there at 50,000. Let's keep it going.
We moving up like the Jeffersons, baby. We moving on up.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
50 G's.
Yeah.
All right, E. So listen, man, as we know, a lot of stuff to talk about today. We're going to talk about privilege, right, with tennis, right? We're going to talk about the Celtics with basketball about to kick off the Celtics summer. E, you know, let's talk about Colorado. You know, we got to touch upon your boy Deion Sanders, Eric. Is James Harden underrated, E? Another question. So let's kick it off right now, E. Let's get right into it. Let's go right at it. The Celtics summer. The NBA season is upon us soon. Training camps are starting. And normally, E, when a team wins a championship, they do a victory lap in the summer. Is that fair? You win a championship, you have a great summer, right? You get on the Wheaties box, you know what I mean? Like you have your victory lap, okay? You get adored by everybody, etc. The Boston Celtics have probably had as bad an offseason as an organization as you can imagine for a team that won the championship.
Yes.
Let's get right into it, E.
Yes.
Okay?
Sure.
Jason Tatum gets no burn on the Olympic team. He's supposed to be one of the bright lights in the NBA. Hey, I'm gonna list it all really quickly so you can jump in.
Yeah.
Jason Tatum, no burn on the Olympic team. Big story. Maybe even a bigger story. His teammate Jaylen Brown, right? Those are the two best players on the team and the two highest paid players in the NBA, I believe, right?
Yes.
He didn't even get picked. Kawhi Leonard was on the team. They kicked him off pretty much, and they took Derek White, right, who's probably the fifth best player on the team, on the Olympic team, over Jaylen Brown. And Jaylen Brown openly wanted to be on the team. So Tatum gets no burn. Jaylen Brown doesn't get on the team, and they put on Derek White, who's not a bum, obviously, but not close to the level of player that Brown is. That causes some friction, right, E?
Yes.
Then, E, the team gets sold.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, excuse me. They're put up for sale, and the sale, they're assuming it would happen in around November. So the team's up for sale. So you win a championship, you put the team up for sale, okay? Then on another note, Eric, and aside, White is at the Colorado football game a couple of weeks ago and gets shoved and pushed, and he has a fight at the Colorado football game. He went back to his alma mater, Colorado. Yeah. Derek White. I mean, E, is this what happens when you win a championship? Talk to me, E.
No, I don't think this will happen when you win a championship. I think when you win a championship, you know, all doors are open to you. You know, you're the talk of the town. Everybody is trying to come at you and, you know, celebrate, you know, this historical championship win. And then when you get, first of all, Jaylen Brown not getting on the Olympic team, which was, I don't know what they was thinking. I don't know who's on that committee. I think Grant Hill's on that committee. Steve Kerr obviously was the coach. Like, come on, he's obviously one of the he's a premier player on the NBA team, and just finished winning a championship. How you don't have him on the roster? Then Tatum doesn't get no burn. Like, what is going on?
Hey, let me go situation by situation in the dynamic, right? So you just spoke about Jaylen Brown getting snubbed. Yes. Okay. So Jaylen Brown, by the way, was the finals, right? Finals MVP.
Yes.
I think he was the conference final and the finals MVP.
Yes.
That's the caliber player he was. And at that time was the highest paid player in the NBA.
Yes.
Okay. And he openly wanted to be on the team. Oh, and I forgot another piece from Jaylen Brown, Eric. Remember, he sat courtside of the Summer League game, and he said Bronny James was not an NBA player.
Yeah.
Like, he don't see it. Yeah. And they read his lips, and he got in trouble for that, and he had to come out there and make a statement. He was talking to his girlfriend, Eric, and got it. So that's another element to his summer. But anyway, we know there was something else cooking, Eric, right? Because Grant Hill is the guy who's in charge of running it, right? So Grant Hill, as you said, he's not a guy. He's a guy on the committee, but he's also in charge, right? Colangelo had that job for years. Jerry Colangelo. They've now ceded that control to Grant Hill. Okay, but number two, Eric, Nike runs the team, right? So Nike is a corporate sponsor. So and Jaylen Brown, right, as we know, is openly not militant. I don't want to be extreme, but he stands up for what he believes is
That's
black
the right word. That's
causes.
the right word, Frank. He's militant. That's the right word.
Well, militant, I don't know if he's that extreme, but he stands up for black causes,
Yeah.
right? And so so he's a very militant guy, right? So he doesn't go along with the program.
Yeah.
He's different. He's a very smart guy, right? Went to Berkeley, was taking, high level classes at Berkeley. I believe he got an internship at NASA. I believe he spoke at Harvard. He taught a class at MIT, right? So high level guy, okay? And then he did stuff like he put on a pair of Nikes and he would take the Nike sign off.
Yes.
Okay. So he would do, again, to speak about how Nike exploits people potentially, etc. Okay. So there's a method to this too, right? Let's not think it's random that he get picked, right?
Oh, no, for
He's
sure.
a militant black man who stands on his causes and he's not down with Nike, okay? And so they snubbed him.
Oh yeah, for sure.
They snubbed him, yes. Right? That's one. And then let's get into the statement with Bronny James. He's sitting courtside with his girlfriend, all right? Ex-WNBA player, sitting courtside with her. He's watching Bronny James play. He says he doesn't think Bronny James is it, doesn't think he's a pro. He's sitting with Angel Reese and his girlfriend, Summer League. His lips get red, okay? And then that became a whole nother, they blew that up again on him. So this is just his summer. Eric, do you have a problem with that? With him saying Bronny James was not a pro,
no, I don't,
et cetera, et cetera.
I don't have a problem with that at all. I mean, that's his opinion. He verbalized his opinion. I mean, he was speaking to his girlfriend. He didn't think nobody was going to read his lips. I mean,
there you go. There you go.
Sensitive. Like if I have an opinion about somebody and I say he's not an NBA player or he sucks, that's my opinion. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Is Bronny James an NBA player? No, he's not an NBA player. Can he potentially be an NBA player? Will practice and continue to work on his game? Maybe. But as of right now, he's not an NBA player. What is so hard about people understanding that people have the right to voice their opinion? That was his opinion. And I think that's a violation for people to be reading somebody's lips while he's talking to his girlfriend. Like, what? I mean, we don't have privacy laws? What the hell?
That's my so that's where I'm with you at E. Look, even if the man came out publicly and said, and somebody asked him the question, and he said he didn't think that Bronny James was an NBA player. Even if he said that publicly, right? That's still his prerogative in his opinion to state that. He doesn't have to be apologetic about that. But the fact that you're having a conversation with your girlfriend and somebody reads your lips, Eric, and then you have to then answer to that in the press, in the media, is crazy, by the way. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. There has to be some level of privacy and expectation that when you're talking to your girlfriend at a game courtside, that's not going to happen. So, that part about it to me is crazy. So, anyway, so that's the Jaylen Brown thing.
I'm going to say here on the Frank Harris show, Bronny James, you're not an NBA player. That's it. DM me.
So, let me say this.
Damn.
Let me say this. So, I don't want to get too far off the Celtic topic, and we're going to talk about this in detail, but let me say this. Bronny James is unequivocally not an NBA player today. He's not, right? We know why he got drafted. We said we know LeBron James, and I said LeBron James deserves to get his kid on the team for what he's done to the NBA, for the NBA, for the Lakers, for multiple organizations. There's nepotism all throughout the NBA, right? Owners' sons are running teams, have jobs, etc. So it's nepotism. Bronny James does not deserve to be there as a player. But I will offer this. While he does not deserve to be there as a player at all, Eric, if you're looking at it from a meritocracy, look at it based upon the merit, he does not deserve to be there. I will say this, though. He's box office. He's worth money to an organization. He's worth more money to an organization than any other guy that's on the bench, right? And by the way,
correct.
Let's be clear. He got the $8 million deal, the 2-year, the 4-year, 8.8, whatever it was, way more money than he deserved. But I will say this, though. He's worth more than that contract to the Lakers. Because guess what? People are going to be buying his jersey. People are going to tune in to see what he does. People are going to be following him. Brands are going to want to be involved. So let me say this. And I understand commerce, right? We look at Caitlin Clark, great player, okay? But everywhere I look, I see Caitlin Clark, rookie of the year. I don't even see Asia Wilson, player of the year. They talk more about Caitlin Clark winning rookie of the year than Asia Wilson winning player of the year because of the fame and popularity and what she brings to the league.
Yeah.
Bronny James is worth his weight in money, right, to the Lakers and to the league, for sure. So I will say he is not an NBA player. And I'm not sure in the fair world he will ever be an NBA player in reality. But a guy can work and get better. But a 6'2", undersized two guard who's really not a point guard at all. He's a 6'2", two guard with no handles and no real game. Good athlete, but whatever.
Frank,
right?
Frank, real quick, run them numbers by me again. He's making what, 8 point something million?
I think he got 4 year. I think he got a 4 year, $8 point something million deal. I think
for the 54th pick in the NBA draft.
Yeah, well, but again, it's not on the merits. We just talked about that.
Holy shit!
But hold on, E. But is he going to make that franchise more than that deal?
Probably. His fame is popular.
No, it's not probably. Eric, can you imagine the first pass from the father to son for a basket? Can you imagine the jersey sales? Could you imagine the marketing you can use behind that? Could you imagine the eyes on a TNT game or whatever the network will be, an Amazon game to watch him play with his father? Can you imagine the eyes on Christmas Day, father and son playing together? And you know they're not going to keep him in the G League the whole time. So
you're saying he's actually going to get on the NBA court and play this year?
Of course he will. It's all marketing. It's not based upon the merits. It's marketing. Yes. Wow. Of course he'll get to play.
I'm saying play in significant games with crunch time minutes and stuff like that. But he's getting significant minutes.
No, Eric, he won't play crunch time minutes, but he'll play in games.
Not Antetokounmpo.
Crunch time.
No, I'm saying not Antetokounmpo's brothers' minutes. I'm talking about like minutes where first half he gets in and stuff like that. Not Antetokounmpo's brothers' minutes.
Of course.
Okay.
Eric, if you don't play him with the father, Eric, right, you lose. If you're the Lakers, just from a PR, from a marketing perspective, you do that. What, are you kidding me? Like, just from a marketing perspective, you do that, Eric. Because ultimately, that's the whole idea. The LeBron to Bronny to LeBron for a dunk, LeBron to Bronny for a layup. Oh my goodness! That'll be on SportsCenter. What?
What did the NBA come?
That'll be on repeat on Eric. That'll be on repeat, correct?
Yeah, it'll be on top 10 ESPN moments. Right?
No one cares about Antetokounmpo's brother, right? Playing on the team. Right, he's there to pick the guy's nose and to act like he's gonna fight when something happens, right? He jumps off the bench, everybody holds him back. He act like he's gonna beat up somebody, right? And then they hold him back, and it's like a joke. But he got his big brother on the team, and that's what it is. But Bronny James is a marketing boom for the Lakers, economic boom, right? He's gonna be selling Nikes, and by the way, he has so many followers, right, on Instagram, on his socials. He's gonna be selling sneakers, the Bronny James Nike.
Wow. Okay. Right.
I mean, it's a marketing boom, so he's worth that. But anyway, we got off because it's a marketing boom. But back to the Celtics. Yeah. Then you got Tatum, right? So we talked about Brown. Then you got Tatum. Okay, Tatum is one of the faces of the NBA. You could argue the best American player in the NBA. You could argue. Is that fair?
Yeah, you can make that argument. Yes, you can make that argument.
The best American player in the USA is probably Tatum, right? They've been trying to make him the guy forever, right? He finally got his ring with the Celtics this year, right? He got the new contract afterwards. But anyway, he gets on the Olympic team, right? He's the face of the U.S., okay? And they sit him. And by the way, his teammate, Drew Holiday, again, another sub on the team, right? Starts ahead of him. And his teammate, Derek White, another guy on the team, again, who is, the fifth best player on his team, plays more than him. So you got Derek White and Drew Holiday, two guys that play more than Tatum, and Brown doesn't get on the team. So if you Tatum, Eric, right? And by the way, for Tatum, if I'm the coach, Missoula, oh my goodness, great motivation. When you're trying to motivate a team, Eric, after you win a championship, oh, great motivation. Look how they did you, Jaylen Brown. Look how they did you, Tatum. They don't respect you as a player. They treated you like a bum. What you gonna do? Should Tatum have played more?
I mean, I don't think so. I mean, at what position he was going to play? He wasn't going to take LeBron's spot. and he wasn't going to take the other forward spot. I mean, those are the two spots that he was, fighting for. And I also think too that USA is trying, instead of compounding talent, just talent upon talent, they're trying to put pieces together that fit well so that they can go out and compete against these European teams. Because these European teams been together for longer, they have some cohesiveness, playing with each other for so many years. So I think the USA is trying to get away from just, stockpiling talent and putting teams that fit well together, pieces that fit well together. So Tatum being obviously one of the better players in the NBA, maybe it didn't fit on this roster. And I'm not a Tatum fan, but maybe it didn't fit on this roster. So him not getting any burn, I'm cool with that. Like, I'm okay with that.
I don't understand. I don't understand. Like, everything is for the media, for the press. Okay, Tatum first of all is an overrated player. Number one. Okay, really good player. Obviously, probably a top 10 to 15 guy, top 10 guy in the NBA, and especially where they're pushing him. But Eric, on that team, okay, the way that team was configured, Tatum is a wing 3-4, right, on the team like that. Who are you gonna play in front of? He's not gonna play in front of LeBron,
and Kevin
right? And LeBron was the best player on the team, right? He's not gonna play in front of KD.
Yeah. So
I mean, come on, dog.
So there you have.
Like, what are we? And by the way, Steve Kerr got the championship. He's not, you can't put him at the 2, right, or at the 1, because Curry's gonna play a lot of the game because that's Steve Kerr's guy.
Yeah.
Right. Right. You need guys. So anyway, at the end of the day, Eric, it is what it is. Yeah. Steve Kerr made a choice. Right. You can't play, Eric, when you got guys like that. You can't play 12 guys. Somebody got to sit. Right. And guys like Jrue Holiday's job was to play defense and not want shots, etc. So at the end of the day, Tatum just didn't fit. So you be happy that you got on the roster.
Yeah.
All right.
That's what I'm saying.
But great motivation, though, E.
No,
great motivation, though, E.
For the upcoming season. All I'm saying is the USA is getting away from, the old way of just stockpiling talent on top of talent. They're trying to get into, to building a team, building guys that can fit well together and stuff like that. And that's what they did this year. You know what I'm saying? So Tatum, it is what it is. Get back in the training camp, and this is a chip on your shoulder now to go out there and show the world
right.
You are one of the better players in the world. And you got
him and Brown got to go back to back now and shut everybody up.
Yeah.
Right. And then lastly, right, because I mean, Derek White got into a fight at the Colorado game a couple of weeks ago. That's whatever. Like, we don't got to get too deep into that, right? Looked like he got pushed. You know what I mean? Looked like he was drunk. No respect for him. It's the Colorado State game, rivalry game, right? Whatever. He got pushed. Whatever. But also, going back to training camp is weird too, right? Like, if you are white, and these guys are probably not big ego guys, him and Holiday, but they got to feel a way too, because Tatum and Brown probably coming to practice like, yo, these two dudes are starting over us. One got picked, both of them got picked over me. Jaylen Brown's gonna say, and Tatum's gonna say, and both of them got burned over me.
Exactly.
Right? Two lesser players. So hopefully that doesn't create any level of like issue within the locker room. And then lastly, on a bigger note, they selling the team. Yeah. They put the team up for sale. And yo, E, what's crazy? They re-signed everybody, right? So they made the tax bill is going to be crazy, right? They got the 2 highest paid players, right, at Tatum and Brown, right? And then they re-signed everybody, E. They re-signed Jrue Holiday. They gave Derek White the new deal. They gave Porzingis, I believe, a new deal. Sam Hauser got a new deal, the shooter, E. And so the patriarch of the family that owns it said, listen, the tax bill is too high. Sell it. Yeah. Right?
Wow.
And so now, E, in the midst of everything, you won a championship. This has been your summer, and now you're selling the team, E. Crazy.
Just winning the championship, now you want to sell the team. But hey, listen, I'm not mad at them. Like you said, the tax is too high. Like, hey, we gotta sell it. You pay.
Crazy Celtic summer, right, E?
Yeah.
Hey, E, another basketball question. We're gonna switch it up. By the way, you wearing that bum Colorado jersey on, bro. We got to get into that collar hoodie. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't wear that proud the way you beat Baylor. In your game, you're supposed to win at home. Baylor gave that game away. You didn't win it. But anyway,
we'll talk about that later.
No, let's talk about that before because I had another basketball topic. But let's talk about that, Eric. So Colorado, I believe now is 3-1. Is that right?
3-1.
Okay. 2 games, teams they should have won, right? And then they beat. This is the first decent game, Big 12 game. Yeah. I thought they looked like a team better like a team last week. But this week, I felt like they pulled it out. But Travis, and by the way, Travis Hunter, if he's not the Heisman, the guy in the front for the Heisman, it's a joke. Right? I don't like Deion Sanders, as you know, Eric.
Well,
but when Deion Sanders steps,
he's not the front runner. Let's get that clear. He's not the front runner. Let's get that clear. I love
Travis Hunter?
I love Travis Hunter, but he's not the front runner, Frank, for the Heisman Trophy winner. He's not.
Cam Ward's not the front runner.
Cam Ward is a front runner, Frank. What are you talking
No, he's not. No, he's not. You crazy. What Travis Hunter's doing is unbelievable
Frank,
and against better competition.
Cam,
you ain't played nobody yet.
Ward is the front runner for the Heisman Trophy as we speak right now.
No, he's not.
Oh.
Travis Hunter is. And by the way,
all right, you can look it up.
Eric, what Travis Hunter's doing on offense and defense is unparalleled. He's had 5 straight 100-yard receiving games, and he's getting interceptions all game long, and he's amazing on the other side of the ball. And by the way, if he doesn't win, it's only because Deion Sanders is his coach. Because Travis Hunter is the best player in college football. Is he not? Who's the best player in college football?
Frank.
I'm asking you, who's the best player in college football?
Cam Ward right now statistically is the best player in college football.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
Frank, look at his statistics. He's thrown over 1,000 yards. Over 1,000 yards in 4 games. Has thrown.
Eric, you didn't play nobody.
It doesn't matter.
It's nobody.
It doesn't matter.
It does matter. It does matter.
He's gonna have his Heisman moment. Hold on. He's gonna have his Heisman moment. You know, every Heisman Trophy winner has their moment. He's gonna have his moments. He plays stiffer competition coming up. He's gonna have his moment. You know, like let's put that on pause. I love Travis Hunter. Don't get me wrong, Travis Hunter, the little meal, but you are not the front runner for the Heisman Trophy as we speak right now. Cam Ward is a Heisman.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Come on.
Right now, and by the way, and you know, I don't even like that team. And Cam Ward is second.
Okay.
Cam Ward is second. Let me ask you a question. 2 things, Eric. This is the problem you got to remember. Both guys, by the way, Cam Ward is amazing. Both guys are playing great, right? Cam Ward has played against nobody yet, but still, both guys are playing great. Let me ask you a question, Eric, right? When it comes to the Heisman vote, there are voters around the country, okay? If 2 guys are relatively similar in terms of their play on the field, okay? Travis Hunter is way more of a selling point and more popular and on TV more and people care about more.
Yeah.
And you know that matters.
That's true.
You know that matters.
I'll give you that. Popularity.
Right, Travis Hunter is showtime.
Yes, I give you that.
Right?
Yeah.
So they keep on going, Eric, and they both are guys. And by the way, Cam Ward, again, playing for your Hurricanes, phenomenal thus far. But you beat USF, you beat, I think, Bethune-Cookman of FAMU. I mean, come on, E. I mean, E, come on, E.
We beat Florida, primetime game. We blew them out.
Florida's terrible. Is Florida good, E?
No, they suck. But we made it look easy.
Okay.
But we look.
So
Frank, hold on. There's something about beating bum teams, but when you make it look easy,
there's something about beating bum teams. I can't believe you just said that.
Yes.
There's something about beating Bethune-Cookman. I mean,
Frank,
excuse me.
When you make it look easy, Frank, we blowing teams out.
That's expected. So what do you want to make it look hard? You did what you're supposed to do.
Oh, he's making it look like come on, Frank. These guys are not on Cam Ward's level. He's making it look easy.
They're not. So let me ask you a question. So the quarterback for FAMU should be on Cam Ward's level?
No.
It's the reason why Miami probably paid him $1 million to be their quarterback. He making more NIL deal than the whole budget for the whole FAMU team.
Florida coming into the season was supposed to be good. We blew.
No, they weren't. And Eric,
supposed to be good, Frank.
No, they weren't. And Eric, before the season started, what was the first thing I said about Florida? Before the season started, did I say Napier would be fired before the season was over?
You did say that, but you said,
and I said
you said it based on their schedule.
No, but based upon their schedule and how good they are, Alabama could have a good schedule, a tough schedule, but they're a good team. Obviously, it's not just based upon their schedule; it's based upon their schedule and how bad they are as a team. What do you mean?
Okay,
it can't just be based upon schedule. Georgia might have a good schedule, but they're good as a team.
Florida sucks. We beat the hell out of them. But go ahead, we smacked them. But
garbage.
Okay.
But listen, right now, Travis Hunter, right, is the guy in college football. He's the face of college football. Okay, so anyway, we'll see. By the way, Colorado, you're 3-1 now, E. And by the way, I thought, and you thought, and these are all games that when we had our conversation, we thought they would win, potentially. right? They right where.
We got to go back to the.
And E,
I said 9.
we got to go back. And E, by the way, and let's keep it a buck, E, right? What's the name gave him the game? Baylor did. Like Baylor literally should have just walked into the game and said, Colorado here. Eric, the Hail Mary at the end of the game is a joke, right? And then, Eric, they get in overtime. They're in the end zone. The guy fumbles.
No, that was
right?
a great hit
They
by-
gave
that was a great hit by Travis Hunter. He put his helmet.
great hit. Playmakers make plays.
Okay.
And Eric, by the way, let me be clear about it again. You talking about, guys leading candidates for the Heisman. That's an example. What play has Cam Ward made so far? And it's early, and that's not a Heisman moment. But at this point, right, that's a hell of a play. That play saved the game. That's a game-winning play by Travis Hunter. A game-winning play.
It was.
Right?
It was.
Right? Hat on football. Fumble.
Yeah.
On the goal line.
Yes, it was.
Right? That's a big play, E.
Big play.
That being the case, Eric, I'm not sure they'll be favored to win any more games on the schedule.
Okay.
Let's pull it up. And by the way, Baylor should have won that at Colorado.
So if they don't win,
right?
According to you, if they don't win any more games, winning matters. So he's definitely not going to win the Heisman Trophy.
That's fair. Now I'm with you on that. But let me ask you this question, E. I'm with you on that. E, okay, I'll take that back. You got UCF next. Now UCF is tough.
Okay.
Right? You got UCF next. Right? Now, E, you go into your murderer's row. Right? Colorado State, you're not beating them. Kansas State. Arizona, you ain't beating them, I don't think. Cincinnati, maybe. Texas Tech, I would probably say no. Utah, no. Colorado, Kansas. Who you got? Colorado, Kansas, E?
I got Colorado. I got Colorado winning 9 games, Frank. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Well, I got them winning. I think I had them going 500.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
And then you got Oklahoma State. You ain't beating them. So we'll see. But by the way, you squeak by, E. It's no way you're getting the 9 wins, but you squeak by.
Okay.
You squeak by. So Colorado, you got the W, right? You know how I feel about Deion Sanders in Colorado. You got the W. It is what it is. All right. E. So we talked about your little Colorado Buffalo. So you wore your little shirt today on the show to let everybody know that you're pulling for these bum Colorado Buffalo.
My Miami. Well, not yet. But I'm gonna start wearing my Miami stuff soon. So go ahead.
How you gonna wear Colorado before Miami? Miami's your team.
Because I don't want to, Miami. We some of our fans we get excited early. I want to wait till we get about midway through the ACC and we the top 10 team in the country, which we are right now. But I want to see us beat Florida State. I want to see us beat Louisville.
Eric.
Once we win those games, then I'll pop out with my Miami stuff. 305, baby. Let's go.
Yo, E, Miami will be a top 5 team, right? Because the schedule's terrible this year. And the ACC's terrible, right?
Yeah.
Miami will be a top 5 team because nobody. The best game is Louisville, right? And then in the ACC championship, you may play Clemson.
Maybe, yeah.
Right, in the ACC championship, right? Because Clemson's on the other side of the bracket, right?
No, it's one bracket. They take the first 2 teams. It's no longer.
All right. So Clemson, you made me Clemson in the championship. And Clemson's better. They've shown they're better than their Georgia loss, right? They'll get better. That'll be a tough game in the championship. But E, for the record, Louisville is your only tough game. You ain't got nobody. Who else? Florida State is worse than Florida.
Hey, listen, I ain't make the schedule. It is what it is.
All right. So my point is, and you should beat Louisville comfortably. Louisville's tough, well coached, but that's a game you should win, right? That's all you got. You'll be a top 5 team. You should be undefeated going into the going into the ACC championship game. You should go into that game top 5 in the country, maybe 3 or 4, Miami.
Listen, Mario got him rolling. I can't let.
By the way, and Mario did a good job because you know what Mario did? He recruited inside out. What he did was he went and got guys on both sides in the trenches, on the offensive line and the defensive line. That's where he built his team. Right. And he was an offensive line guy, right? Crystal ball was.
And we're about to flip that commitment to Alabama, the offensive line, 5-star offensive line. We're about to flip him to Miami. So let's keep it going, Mario.
Yeah, he did. So shout out to Miami. They doing their thing, right? You know what? Hey, I got to do before we switch. I got to say about one thing about that game, though, right? So as good as you like Cam Ward, though, he did something that I have no respect for. Okay, you saw the play. They're on the 1 yard line. Okay, and he was pointing to USF to let them know where the play was coming.
Yeah,
Right? I don't know if you saw it.
I saw it.
Okay, hold on. He said like we running the ball right here.
Yeah, right here.
So let me tell my problem with that, E. Okay. When you're doing that against FAMU, you're doing that against USF. That don't mean nothing, right? Don't be the bully on the block, right? Beat them with grace. Let me say this: do that against Clemson. Oh, hold on. Do that when you play Louisville, E. Tell Louisville where it's going. E, if you get into the bowl series, if you get to be one of the 12 that gets picked to go to the championship game, do it in that game. Don't do that against USF, E.
Frank. Hold on, Frank. Come on, we get so caught up. Listen, that right there, that moment right there is he just is stealing confidence in his running back and his offensive line. The ball's going right here. You cannot stop us. We're going right here. I have confidence in my offensive line.
Eric, I'm okay with that. But Eric, so I hope you do that against Louisville and Clemson. Don't do it against a team that's inferior in terms of talent, in terms of program, etc.
Man, that's
all right. Eric,
that's just giving his offensive line the push, the confidence they need to continue to play excellent football. He hasn't been sacked yet. Go ahead. We went in it right here. I don't care who y'all got. Put 10 in the box. We're going right here.
Eric, can I ask you a question? You went to Delaware State, right?
Yes.
Duke playing against Delaware State.
Yes.
Basketball, right? The Duke big man say to the Delaware State big man, I'm getting the ball right here. The play is to throw me the ball right here and score. So what? You playing Delaware State.
Right.
No offense to your alma mater, E, the mighty Delaware State. But the point is, right? Do that. Yo, E. The point is, do that against North Carolina. Do it against teams that are of comparable level. Don't do that against Delaware State. Hey, what's your mascot, E?
The Hornets.
The Delaware State what?
Hornets.
The Hornets. The Delaware State. Don't do that against the Hornets, right? Do that against. You know what I'm saying, E? Don't do that against.
Shout out to Delaware State.
Don't do that against USF, E. Do that against.
You're right. Listen, shout out to Delaware State. I'll be down there for homecoming. Shout out to
I hope you're not playing against Duke.
Shout out to Delaware State. I
hope you're not playing against Duke during homecoming. So yo, E. All right, E. So anyway, those little college football highlights. By the way, big game this weekend coming up: Alabama, Georgia at Alabama. It doesn't feel the same without Nick Saban, but it's still probably two of the best teams in the country. Two top 5 teams head to head. We really get a chance to see what Alabama is post Nick Saban. This is the first real test.
Yes.
Obviously, we know where Georgia's at with Kirby Smart. Let's see what Alabama's at, right? Alabama, this is a real test.
Yes.
The first real test for Alabama.
Yes. It's still Alabama, great team, great players.
Yeah, they got talent players, right? But let's see what DeBeer, whatever his name is, let's see what he got, yes. Right, E? So E, and by the way, Jalen Milroe is another guy who's a very good player. But anyway, E, now E, I got to ask you this question. Now we're going back to basketball for a minute.
Yes.
All right. Is James Harden, underrated? Is James Harden the most underrated player of our not our generation, but of in the last players in the last 15 years since he's been in the NBA? Since James Harden's been in the NBA, is he the most underrated player since he's been in the NBA? Underrated.
I think he's overrated. To me personally, I think he's overrated. I think he hasn't done anything, to cement him as one of the top players ever. In the NBA, I don't know what way we will rank him at as top player ever in the history of basketball. But I think he's overrated. A guy hasn't won anything. You can't win with a guy like that. The guy comes out of shape. The guy has fallen off the cliff. He has some good moments. When he was in Houston, has to put up some great numbers. But the guy is not a winner. The guy is not a winner. You cannot win with a guy like that. He's not a guy that can galvanize the troops and say, yo, I'm going to take you out to the promised land. He's not one of those guys. He's a guy, very selfish plays about me. And I don't think he's deserving of any, All
right. So let me say this, E. So first of all, I'm with you on all of it except for the part that I still think he's underrated, right? So I think he's a me guy. He's a selfish guy. I do believe, Eric, that you can't win with him. I've always said that. You can't win with him. And also he shrivels, right, when the game is on the line, right? He plays small and big games. Pause, right? No doubt about it. But the man averaged 36 points a game 1 year. There was a time in Houston, Eric, where you could argue that he was the best player, one of the top 2 or 3 players in the NBA.
He was. And
I mean, there was
he had some great moments. He had some great
he was averaging 30 plus and 10 every time he stepped on the floor, Eric. If he giving you 30 some odd points a game and 10 assists, he was worth 50 points by himself. Right? 30 and 10 is 50 points, right? With the assists.
Yes.
Eric, you score 100 in a game, he was giving you 50 of them. One guy.
I'm not disagreeing.
Right? He was every time he stepped on the floor, he was giving you 50 to 56 points a
Frank,
game.
you cannot win with a guy like that, Frank. That's my issue with him. You cannot win with him. He the dribble, triple step back. Like you can't win with a guy like that.
But let me say this. We agree on that. But Eric, not only did he have 1 year average 36.1 points a game in the NBA.
Yes,
Eric. 36 a game. But let me say this though, right? Also, so everybody who trains now trains their players to play like Harden. His impact on the game has almost been like Curry. Like his impact on the game is Curry like.
No,
right?
No,
I mean Curry.
No.
Hold on.
Hold on. Frank, come on, dude.
That's here we go. I know you're Curry fan.
Frank,
Eric.
You reaching, but
Eric, the most popular move for any guard today is that step back garbage. That's the most popular move. Every guard in the NBA, including Curry, uses that move. And by the way, if you look at every fool out here who's playing against a cone every day, right? Because that's what everybody trains. Every coach, every kid is when I say fool, I mean the trainers, not the kids. Every kid is playing against a cone, right? And every move they do, James Harden changed not just Eric the step back move, but the tempo he plays with, right? Slow, getting in front of the guy, backing up, changing speeds. Everybody plays like Harden now, Eric. James Harden changed the landscape of how guards play.
Frank. Not everybody's taking the air out of the basketball, Frank. Not everybody's taking the air out of the basketball, Frank. This guy dribbles for 20 seconds. Dribble. Then step back. Come on, Frank. That's not basketball, Frank. Look. He had tremendous years in Houston. They were on the verge of beating my Golden State Warriors, right? On the verge of beating them. They couldn't put it through. Chris Paul got hurt, right? I mean, this guy is.
And by the way, Chris Paul was cooking your boy Curry in that
Here we go.
Cooking Curry. But he was chefing up Curry, cooking him, putting the curry in the chicken and chefing it up and eating it for lunch.
My bad for bringing even that. Come on. All right. Anyway, so with that being said, he's a great player, but I think he's overrated. I don't think he's overrated. He has some great years with Houston. Great years. I'm not taking that away from him. But
Eric, you say overrated. He won an MVP.
Frank, you can do that. You can do that when you have the ball in your hand for 20 seconds every possession. You're taking every shot.
So, Eric, we talking about two different issues, right? Let me say this. We talking about two different issues, right? Let me tell you why. I agree with you. His style of play is horrible. I agree with you. It's dribble, and more dribble, right? And by the way, and going left 90% of the time, right? So it's dribble to more dribbles to more dribbles, right?
Then going left.
But but the offensive package, pause, right? The step back, that 1-2 step back that everybody used, even the one step back. That was his movie. He brought that to the NBA. Every kid, if you go watch anywhere, every player, they do that. Eric, changing speeds and playing tempo. Nobody did that like he did. Right? No one played that way. Michael Jordan don't play that way. LeBron don't play that way. You love Curry. Curry don't play that way. Durant don't play that way. He's the first guy to play at a pace where everybody's like, it looked like James Harden. He plays at his own pace. And everybody teaches that now. Everybody teaches the pace, make the left. You get in front of the guy, using your body on offense. Like all of that is Harden stuff. So all of that, and by the way, every coach teaches that. Every coach don't teach Curry. Dribble. They don't teach that. They teach Harden.
Moving without the basketball, they don't teach that.
That's true. They don't go to any page. They're not teaching that.
So
they teach you how to dribble around three cones and wait on the ball.
So you mean to tell me that if you're a high school coach, You're
Yeah,
teaching your kids to dribble, step back three, or are you telling your kids
Eric,
to move the ball, move without the ball?
Eric, I didn't say that. I just said in terms of style of play, right?
Okay.
More kids emulate. When these guys, every player you know has a trainer. Is that fair, Eric?
Yes.
From the ages 3, right? You got 3-year-old kids. Everybody got a trainer.
Yes.
Is that fair, Eric?
Yes.
It's a joke. How many of these kids have trainers? How many people robbing people, holding themselves out to be basketball experts?
Trainer,
correct?
Yeah.
What do they Eric? Do you see them teaching? Right, Eric. It's a cone here, and a cone here. You come out of cone, you make a move, you wait for the guy behind you, right? You make a move on the next cone, you get to the third cone, you step back like Harden and you shoot.
Yeah.
That's you can watch. That's what every trainer teaches.
Yes, I'm not disagreeing with you with that. I'm not disagreeing with
Right. No one's teaching Curry. You're right. Moving without the ball. You don't see trainers teaching that. Right. Quick moves into the three. They're not teaching that.
Wow.
So anyway, look, debatable issue. Listen, let me be clear. I think he's underrated because his impact on the game, and he had some amazing years. But I think the way he plays is terrible. We agree on that, E. But our disagreement is just that you think he's overrated. I know he's overrated because I think people look at him as a loser.
So let me ask you.
I don't think people look at.
Let me ask you this: what was his impact? What was his years of dominance in the NBA? How many years? How many years? First of all, how many years in the league, and how many years of his dominance have we seen?
I don't know that, Eric, but there was about a 5 to 6 year period, Eric, when he first came to Houston, right before he started buying little baby honey buns, right? When he first came to Houston. And E, let me say this: there's about a 5-year stretch in Houston when he was phenomenal.
Okay, about a 4 to
5
year stretch. Okay.
He's phenomenal, right? Especially statistically. Now they didn't win. E, I'm not disagreeing with you. They didn't win.
Yes.
But statistically, Eric, he was must-see TV.
Frank,
right?
But don't you have to have a sustainable, career consistency for 4 to 5 years? Maybe let's say
not Eric. It wasn't just 4 to 5 years.
I won't say even 5.
Not Eric. Eric. Don't do that. Don't do that. It wasn't 3 years.
You have to have substantial amount of years to be considered a great player. Sustainable amount of years. And on top of that, championships and accolades. He did win an MVP, but I mean his window was small, 3 to 4 years. Come on, Frank.
Eric, hold on. Let me say this.
3 to 4 years. Remember, he came off the bench when he was OKC.
Eric, hold on. I got it in front of me. Let's not debate.
Okay,
let me just read it.
Let's go.
Let me just read it. Okay, let's not debate. All right? Let me just read it. Right? First year in Houston, right? 26 again, 25.9, right, Eric? And 6 assists and 5 rebounds.
First year.
Second year, 25.4, 6 assists, 4.7 rebounds. Third year, 27.4 and 7 assists and 5.7 rebounds.
Okay.
Eric, hold on. Next year, fourth year, 29 a game, right? 6 rebounds, 7.5 assists. Next year, 29.1 a game,
so that's
8 rebounds, 11.2 assists. Eric, next year.
That's 3 years.
Eric, hold on, Eric. 30.4. 30.4.
That's 4 years.
And 8.8 assists. Next year, 36 points a game, 7.5. Next year, 34 points a game, 7.5. Next year, 36 points a game. No, I'm sorry, Eric. That's my fault. Nope, I'm reading wrong. Please forgive me. I was reading the minutes. Excuse me. My bad. Eric, listen, let me go back. 25.9, right? 25.4, 27.4, 29 a game, 29.1, and 11 assists. 30.4, 8.8 assists, 36.1, 7.4 assists, 34.3, 7.5 assists. And then he went to, last year was 24.8, 10.4 assists. Then he went to Brooklyn and then did 24.6 with 10.9 assists. But Eric, that's like 6 or 7 really good years, Eric.
I say 6. Give him 6 years.
Eric, what do you mean 6, Eric? He had
I'm not counting the 25 points a game. I'm counting from 27 on. When he averaged
25 points a game is not great in the NBA.
I'm starting my starting point is from 27 when he went from 27, 29, 30, 36. And
so Eric, so from 27 on, he had 27, 29, 29, that's 3, 30, that's 4, 36, that's 5, 34, that's 6. Eric, that's 6 really good years.
Okay, that's where I'm starting.
That's not 3. Eric, that's not 3 or 4 years. That's not 4 years. What you said.
All right.
That's 6. And by the way, in addition to those 6 great years, the other years around there, he's at 26, 25 point and 8 assists that are very, very good years.
Very good year, but my starting point again, I'm starting from the 27 when he averaged 27 points a game. So it's about a 6-year span, right? That's what I said.
It was 7 years,
No, 6, Frank. It's a 6.
All right, even Eric, but 6 years of dominance,
I'm not disagreeing with you on that. 6 years.
All right then. So how can he be overrated? He dominated the NBA for 6 years.
He's a loser.
And led the league in assists.
Frank, he's a loser. Frank, he's a loser. He's a loser.
Eric, that doesn't take away from the way he's changed the way people play.
Frank, you take those stats.
That's a fact.
You compound that with winning basketball and winning championships. I would say, yes, he's underrated. Underrated. If you take those stats with winning basketball and winning championships, yes, absolutely underrated. But the man has not won anything, Frank, besides an MVP.
So what are you arguing me about? I agree that he never went. I don't like the way he played. I just said with those stats and what he accomplished, you can put respect on his name that he had an amazing run.
I'm saying,
right. I'm not saying.
Okay. I'm gonna let you talk. You talk. You finish.
Yeah, I'm not. We're not disagreeing. I'm not coming to you saying like, yo, he was a winner. He was a loser. We agree on that.
Okay.
But he had about a 6 to 7 year run that was phenomenal.
Okay.
And Eric, you know what's crazy about that too, Eric? Which he's also the anti what everybody wants to tell their kid. And let me tell you why. Right, Eric? Did he take care of his body?
Hell no.
Did he party all the time?
Hell yeah.
So the anti everything, the anti Kobe, right? Like Kobe Bryant was there, and this guy body came out of shape, right? Partying, all that, and dominated the NBA.
Yes.
At times.
Yeah.
Crazy. I think he's underrated, right? Still a loser, but still underrated. I don't think people put enough respect on his name for his impact.
He's a loser. Man, it's a loser. He's a loser, Frankie. He gets no respect.
So, listen, let's close up here. So, I'm a tennis aficionado.
Yes.
Okay, we're going to close off here. I'm a tennis aficionado. I know more about tennis than you know. But anyway, that's another story. So, that two women, it's a controversial topic that some people are talking about. There are two players that are top 10 women's players.
Yes.
Okay. Both performed very well at the U.S. Open. They're top 10 women players, and they come from families that are billion-dollar families.
Yes.
Okay? Billion-dollar families. Jessica Pegula, who went to the finals of the U.S. Open, okay, lost to Sabalenka, but went to the finals. Her family, her dad owns the Buffalo Bills and also the Buffalo Sabres, the hockey team in Buffalo. And I believe it's worth like $7 billion. Okay? Yes. Jessica Pegula, she's 30-ish now. She's having her breakthrough moment now. Seems like a very nice lady. And again, she's top 3 in the world right now. Okay? And then you have Emma Navarro. Her father was a hedge fund guy. And he is a billionaire. Okay? And she's maybe 6 in the world now, maybe even higher than 6. And she beat Coco Gauff in the 4th round of the U.S. Open. So she got deep into the U.S. Open, and she's had some good runs. And I think her father owns also the Cincinnati Open. I think it's called the Southern Open now. I believe they changed the name. But the Cincinnati Open, which is a big 1,000 tournament. It's a big ATP tournament that sets you up right before the U.S. Open. It's a hardcore tournament here in the U.S.
Yes.
That all the players play in to get ready for the U.S. Open. Her father, I believe, owns that tournament. Okay? So there's a big controversy that people are saying that these two players, right, are only good or have an unfair advantage because of the fact that they came from billionaire families, and that players like Serena Williams and Venus Williams, or whatever the case may be, or other black players, Eastern European players, or players, not just black players. They talked about Coco Gauff too, who weren't as privileged, like Tiafoe's another player. They have they work harder and they have a different path, Eric. And so, and then a famous woman commentator from Australia, Renee, I forgot Renee's name right now. It's eluding me, but she said that it's unfair to say these players don't deserve to be where they are, and that they work just as hard. This is where the controversy comes in, as Serena and Venus or Coco Gauff or anybody. They work just as hard as anybody to get where they are, and they deserve it as much as anybody, and no one should be commenting on um, on the fact that they come from billionaire families. E. So give me your take, E. You got to give me your take on this one.
Yeah, listen. I'm all
Renee Stubbs. I'm sorry, Renee Stubbs. I think it's her name.
yeah, I'm all for
Oh, go ahead, E.
if these young ladies are out there performing at the highest level, getting to semifinals, getting to championship, tennis. You know what I'm saying? You said one of them got to the finals of the U.S. Open. So listen, I don't care if you come from privilege or you come from the hood. If you're putting in that work and that work is being shown on the court, on the tennis court, and you're being productive on the tennis court, that's all that matters. These young ladies obviously are putting that work off the court, working on their games, and obviously it's shown because they've gone to the semifinals, they've gone to the finals in the slams, which is the U.S. Open, the Australian Open, the French Open. Somebody, one of them you said got to the finals, right? So listen, I don't care where you come from. You could come from the hood, you could come from privilege. If you put that work in and you're deserving of that, and you're deserving of your ranking, that's what I'm looking for. If you put that work in and it shows on the court, that's all I'm looking for. So
E, I can't believe you, bro.
whoever's out there saying that
I can't believe you, Eric. I can't believe you, Eric.
Listen,
I can't believe you, bro.
hold on. Listen to what I'm saying. Listen.
Oh my goodness, bro.
These women come from privilege.
Crazy.
But they're showing it on the tennis court. You said one of them got to the finals. So okay, so them
Eric,
beating them girls, that has to do with them being privileged?
So can I comment now?
Go ahead, I'm gonna let you talk.
Eric. Listen, dogs.
You the tennis
unequivocally.
You the tennis expert. Go ahead, I'm listening.
Unequivocally, you still got to win the games on the court.
Yes.
Right? And there are a lot of privileged players, right, who don't make it. Okay?
Yes.
So kudos to those girls for making it, right? I know Pagula seems like a very nice young lady. Navarro could be too. She's quiet. But that being the case, Eric, it's not the same. And let me tell you why. You can't tell me they work as hard as Coco Gauff or they work as hard as Serena and Venus did. You can't tell me that. No, and let me tell you why, Eric. Let me hold on. Let me tell you why. E, no.
E, I'm listening.
I'll let you talk now.
I know where you're going with it.
E. It's very different, Eric, when you got the best coaches, the best trainers, the best fitness people, right? You get the best of everything. And it's very different when Coco Gauff and them are playing, Serena and Venus Williams are playing. And by the way, I'm not even Serena. Serena cut up her face now. I'm not even a Venus and whatever, right? Like what she's done to her face and like whatever, right? Like she's married to a white guy, right? Which I don't mean it from a racist perspective, but they use the whole black platform. Wait, hold on. They used the whole black platform to get famous, and then she married a white guy, and her sister only dates white guys, I believe, right? The father got to be scratching his head. But anyway, I digress about that topic.
Listen, friend, what the hell I got to do? Hey,
right.
What are we talking about?
Eric, it's very different when you playing in Compton on some public tennis courts, right? And somebody else got tennis courts in their backyard at their crib with the lemonade sitting next to the court for you and the fancy water, right? And you have all the benefits. And by the way, and even lifestyle. And you go home to your 20,000 square foot crib somewhere, right? And you get in your hot tub and your pool afterwards. It's a different experience, Eric. So let's not say these people work this hard because they have all of the advantages. Now, you have to take those advantages and make something out of them, but it's not the same. They don't work as hard as those other girls do. They don't.
We're not talking about
Stop,
Frank. We're not talking about their environment or do they work hard. We're talking about their production on the tennis court. That's
not what we're talking about. That's not the question. You didn't hear the question there. You're talking about something different. Right. The question is people are saying that they're
not deserving of those rankings.
No one's saying that they don't deserve the rankings because they won the matches. The rankings are the rankings, right? Okay, if somebody scores the points and wins the matches. Okay. But that's not the question. Okay. But don't tell me that those people had the same struggle or worked as hard as these other players.
I never said anything about the
But that's the controversy, Eric. The rankings are the rankings. If you win the match, you win the match. Eric, you can't be ranked. Let me be clear about this. Ranking is not subjective. So what you're saying doesn't make sense. Ranking is not subjective. You get ranked based upon the points you accumulate based upon the matches you win.
Earlier you said that these women, because they come from privilege and because they come from these billionaire families, that they're getting, pushed to the forefront because of that. That's what you said.
I never said they're getting pushed to the forefront. No, I didn't say that. I never said that.
Off there you said that. Off there you said that, Frank. Something similar to that.
How, when you say being pushed to the forefront, right? First of all, I don't even know what that means. Because let me tell you this, Eric, you get points based upon you winning a match.
Yes.
No one can push you to be number one. So if you win the match, you get the points. So there's no subjectivity there, Eric. There's no subjectivity there.
Frank.
You win the match, you get the points.
Listen, yes, other girls come from.
We're debating the experience.
Okay.
We're debating the experience.
Okay.
There's no way you can tell me a person that comes from a billionaire family, right? The way you train is different than the way somebody trains is poor.
Of course, Frank. We know that, Frank. We know that.
Well, you act like you don't know it. You act like you don't know it.
We know that, Frank. People come from.
I'm not sure you know it.
The Serena, they come from Compton, playing on terrible courts, overcoming the color barrier, all that stuff. Yes, it's more difficult for them to overcome it.
Nah, forget about color barrier. Because if you're an Eastern European kid from Russia with no money or from Poland with no money, forget about color. I'm just talking about the coaches and the experience. Yes. It ain't the same.
But you
got to work harder coming from those places, Eric.
You act like Coco Gauff wasn't getting high level training. You act like Serena Williams wasn't getting high level training. Come on, Frank. They were getting high level training, Frank. They were getting country club training. Don't get it twisted, Frank.
Okay.
I don't know too much about.
Can I comment on that?
What I'm saying is they were.
Can I comment on that?
Go ahead. I'm gonna let you comment.
Can I comment on that? After they proven that they were high level players, they got high level training.
No.
They didn't start that.
No, Frank. Hold on. You yourself said some of these girls trained with some of the best academies in the world. Serena and them left and they went to go train with that man down in Florida. That's high level training when they were young.
Eric, are you listening to what I just said?
Well,
but they had to get to a certain level. Serena Venus Williams was undefeated as a lost maybe one match for years as a junior here in Southern California. Those academies, those academies weren't taking those players when those players were just getting started. They took them because they saw money.
Of course.
All right, but hold on. But they had to get to a certain level to get that training. So for years and years, So for years and years, Serena and Venus and the father were on tennis courts in Compton working for years and years and years.
I get that.
So hold on. They had to work their way up to high level training.
I get that.
Navarro and them have to do that. Navarro and Pegula didn't have to do that.
Okay.
Out the gate, they was getting the best training.
I'm cool with that. I'm fine with that. Listen.
Oh, okay, but hold on. Let's get it right though. Don't act like it's apples to apples.
Okay, I'm not worrying about your experiences or your background and all that stuff where you come from. At the end of the day, you have to play the tennis matches, and if you win in those games, then you start climbing up the rankings. That's my.
But you have Eric, that's a fact. But you have advantages when you have an easier life. You have advantages. There's no doubt. Eric, so let me ask you a question. So the kid from the Dominican Republic playing baseball, hitting with a stick and bottle caps, right?
Yes.
That's a different life. Hold on. Than a white kid, hypothetically, forget about white, but a white kid in Southern California, right? Growing up in like, Southern California in a rich area,
yes.
Right? Going to the batting cages and getting instruction. That little kid in the Dominican Republic hitting the bottle cap, the kid that's getting the experience in Southern California with money, that kid is going to work too. But his level of work compared to the kid that's sitting against hitting bottle caps and barely with equipment ain't the same.
I'm not disagreeing with you. The experience is not the same, Frank, but you still have to put the work in, Frank.
I'm not disagreeing with that, but don't act like that kid had to work the same way the other kid did. The kid in the Dominican Republic had to work harder and differently.
Frank, whether you hitting with a stick and you hitting a bottle cap, and the guys out there hitting in a fancy country club, it's still work. It's still work.
It's not the same work though, Eric. Which work is harder, Eric?
Frank, listen. Whether you hitting with a stick and you hitting bottle caps. To me, it's still work. It's a level of work.
Eric, no resources, no money, barely eating food. Eric, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you this question. What is it like when the kid from the Dominican Republic, I give an example, or the kid from Compton, right? And by the way, part of all of this, Eric, is mentality as well. What is it like when you're on a tennis court for hours and hours and hours, and your instruction is not going to be as good as the person that's getting the highest level instruction? So it's going to take you more time usually, right, to get right. What is it like then, Eric, after you leave the tennis court and you go home and you live in a house with 2 bedrooms and you got?
I understand the struggle. I understand all of that, Frank. I get it.
But you don't understand it. But Eric, you got to put that in the mix.
Listen,
the struggle matters.
Okay, Frank. struggle does.
It matters.
It matters, Frank. It makes you hungry, and it makes you strive to be more.
And
yes,
and I mean,
but that doesn't mean that the girl in the country club doesn't have the same, ambition and the same strive to be successful just because she's working out in the country club.
Let me ask you a question. Does the struggle make it harder? That's the only point I'm making. Does the struggle make it harder? That's what I'm saying. It's not apples to apples. Does the struggle, because you're acting like the struggle doesn't make it harder.
Does the struggle make it harder? Yes, you have to.
Yes, that's the question.
Yes, you have to listen. Madalina Paulina,
no, answer the question. Does the struggle make it harder?
Yes, let me answer. Listen. Madalina had an interview. She said she didn't have running sneakers. She used to have to run barefooted.
According to you, it's the same thing.
Hold on, Frank. I'm saying she had to run barefooted. But that didn't deter her from saying, I'm going to work and I'm going to make it and I'm going to just continue to work. Doesn't matter. I'm saying the work. Forget about the struggle and all that. The work. Is it harder?
You can't forget about the struggle because that's the argument. You can't say it's the same scenario. Let me ask you a question, Eric. The struggle makes it way, 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 way more difficult. So therefore, when you don't have the struggle, because earlier today, Eric, in this conversation, right? When I said the kid that's hitting with the bottle cap, yeah. and that's his environment, and the kid that's sitting in the batting cages and got the best coaching, right? Wealthy kid, right? You said, well, no matter what it is, one is hitting this, one is doing that. No, it does matter. One has an advantage over the other. Man, and let me tell you why. Because of the struggle, Eric.
You're in a batting cage.
The struggle.
Wait. Just because you're in a batting cage and you're in a luxury batting cage and luxury facility, that doesn't make that you're going to be able to turn out to be a great baseball player or whatever. That doesn't happen.
Eric, but your journey is easier.
Okay.
That's the point I'm making.
Okay, the journey
Eric,
is easy.
Eric, you're not understanding the point of the argument. The conversation is this. No one's taking away what the person has achieved. What I'm saying is, when Renee Stubbs says that they all had similar struggles and they work as hard and it's the same thing, it's not.
Okay.
No, it's not. The struggle matters.
Okay, hold on.
Stop. Hold on. Eric, the kid that got to go home and don't know where food is at and living in a bedroom with 4 siblings is not the same thing going to your $25 million mansion.
Frank, I'm not. Listen, the journey and the struggle
it's different. And it's harder.
Listen. Renee, whatever her name is, Renee Stubbs, whatever she said that the journey and the struggle and all that stuff is the same. That's what she said, right? Basically, right? All I'm saying.
That's the implication. That's the implication.
All I'm saying is the work. The struggle and all that does matter. I'm saying the work has to be. You have to have work ethic to achieve what you're trying to achieve in life, right? Mommy and daddy not gonna give it to you just because you're rich. The work ethic has to be in place. Now, are they better off because they have those facilities and all that stuff? Yes, it's a little easier.
That's the only point.
It's a little easier for them. What I'm saying,
it's a lot easier. Don't say a little.
Okay.
Okay.
It's a lot easier for them, right? But if you don't have the work ethic, you can have all those luxury shit.
Eric, no one's disagreeing with that. They worked hard to get to their position as well, but it's different work.
Okay,
but you're arguing as if it's the same struggle.
Listen.
It's different. No one's disagreeing that those players had to work hard. Though they're working hard is going to be easier than the person working on the tennis courts in public tennis courts in Compton.
All right,
it's a different struggle.
All right, listen, I'm agreeing with you. The struggle is a struggle, and they have to overcome the struggle,
and it's harder.
And it's hard. Okay, cool.
That's it.
Earlier, off camera, when we was talking about this topic, you said that the deserving of their rankings be maybe because of their father and all that stuff. You said that earlier.
Eric, I couldn't have said that because no one. The ranking is not. Eric, first, I never said that because that makes no sense. You can't get ranked. You get ranked based upon points. So no one can get pushed ahead in the rankings. So
it was off camera. So we don't have.
Hold on, Eric.
Camera.
Eric,
something similar.
Eric, let me say this. I couldn't have said that. That makes no sense.
All right.
What are you talking about? You can't, Eric. Listen, Eric. If you get in the second round of a tournament, you get a certain amount of points. If you get a third round of a tournament, you get a certain amount of points. No one can push you ahead in the rankings. The number 1 ranking person might have 4,000 points. The number 2 ranking person might have 3,800 points. No, Eric, there's no subjectivity there.
So
I couldn't have said that. That's not possible.
When we was off camera, you said
that's not possible.
Hold on. We were off camera. You said that
come on, bro.
Come from.
You're making no sense.
Hold on. Hold on. That's what you said. They come from privileged homes. And you said something to that extent where because they come from privileged homes, are they being favorable because they come from privileged homes, something like that?
What do you mean by favorable? What does that mean? I couldn't have said that. Favorable by who? Favorable by who? What does favorable mean?
We should record these conversations.
Time out. Let me ask you. What does favorable mean? Even in the juniors, you get points based upon wins. There's no subjectivity there. No one can rank a player, right? No one can rank a WTA or ATP player. There's nobody that says, oh, it's not like college football used to be where they might like this team more than this team. There's no schedule. It's none of that. A team is ranked, a player in tennis is ranked upon points that they gain when they win a match. Period.
Listen, you're the tennis expert. I'm gonna go what you said.
Come on, bro.
We had this.
Hey, bro. Come on, bro. Stop, bro. Stop, bro.
All I'm saying is the work is the work. Do people come from struggle? Do people have to overcome certain things? Yes, they do. But the work is the work. That's my point.
Okay, so you're saying the work is the work. So what you're saying is apples to apples, the same thing then?
No, people come from different backgrounds, different struggles.
So hold on. When you say the work is the work, that means the work is the same, you're saying?
Frank, they have to put in work. Whether you look at it from...
So is the work the same? Is the work the same? I'm asking you.
Is the work the same?
Yes.
I believe the work is the same.
You're contradicting yourself. Earlier you said the struggle makes it harder. So the work ain't the same then.
Frank,
you're contradicting yourself.
The struggle is one element. The struggle is one thing that you come from the struggle.
Does that make the work the same?
These struggles, those are obstacles you have to overcome. But when it's time to work, the work is the work, Frank. You have to work. You have to work. Whether it's you
bro, you out of your mind, bro.
Whether you're running barefooted or you're running with $1 million sneakers on. The work is the work.
You're out of your mind. You out of your mind, bro.
All right, Frank.
The work is not the work, bro. It's not the same work. Both people have to work hard, but the work and the struggle makes their work significantly harder and harder to overcome. So it's not the same work, bro. Frank, anyway, I can't believe you, right? I can't believe you. I can't believe you think the work is the same.
Frank,
crazy.
Before we have our closing thing,
crazy.
These are obstacles that people in the struggle have to overcome. Those are obstacles.
That makes the work different. That makes the work different, though, Eric. The work is not the same. The work can't be the same then. The point I'm making is I'm not contravening. I'm saying that the people that get their work.
Yes.
Hold on. No one's saying they don't put in work. But what I'm saying is their work is not comparable to the work that the women have to put on with no shoes on. It ain't the same. That's the only point I'm making. The work is not comparable, Eric. We have all those obstacles. Come on, bro.
There you go.
I can't believe that you're trying to argue for the billionaire people.
Yeah, that's my thing. Obstacles. You got to overcome these obstacles. Serena and them had to overcome these obstacles to get what they needed to get, but the work has to still be in place.
Is anyone saying? Is no one saying both entities don't have to work, but it's different kinds of work, right?
Work. Some may work in a country club, and some may have to work in Compton, where there's.
So who has the hardest struggle? Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Who got the hardest struggle? Let me ask you a question. Who got the hardest struggle? The kid in Dominican Republic with no basketball course is trying to come to the NBA, or Bronny James. It's the same? No. So Bronny James is working it's the same thing?
Obviously, the kid at the Dominican Republic that has no basketball court, no resources. Obviously, that's harder, Frank. Obviously.
Well, that's not obvious to you. You saying the work is the work.
Obviously, but when it's time to work, when it's time to work.
I get what you're saying. We already acknowledge that everybody got to work. Yeah, but you saying the work is the same, and it's not. The work ain't the same. That's the bottom line, bro. Yeah, you tripping, dog. Anyway, yo, by the way, I shouldn't even give you the floor to shout out your Dominican brothers and sisters that go through struggles and get where they go. Because I want you to shout out some billionaires today.
I'm all for that. I'm all for it.
This is the part of the show where Eric shouts out the billionaires in the world and tell them how great they are and how their struggle is the same as people from tough backgrounds. So the floor is yours. What billionaire you want to shout out today? You want to shout out Mark Cuban's daughter? You want to shout out Jerry Jones' family? Who you want to shout out?
Hold on, Frank. I'm going to shout out this young lady who's overcome a lot of obstacles in her life.
Oh, boy.
Right? All the turmoil that's going on in hip-hop and all the stuff that's going on with P. Diddy and all that stuff that's going on, I want to shout out this young lady who has overcome a lot of obstacles, has, hurdled a lot of stuff in her life to be one of the one of the best, or not the best, but one of the females that's taken female rap to the next level. I want to shout out Cardi B, de lo mío, te quiero mucho, Cardi B. I want to shout her out because she's done phenomenal with her career, and I want to shout her out. You know, her coming from extreme measures in her life to where she's at now. I want to shout her out. Cardi B, de lo mío.
Shout out Cardi B. Great, what a great trajectory she's had. She's doing her thing.
Yeah.
You got to shout her out. Keep doing your thing, Cardi
There
B.
you go.
Eric, Cardi B and Nicki Minaj, who's better?
Oh man, lyrically, Nicki Minaj, and I'm taking Cardi B. Cardi B, de lo mío. De lo mío.
Eric, let me be clear about this. Cardi B is a beast. She did her thing, but come on, bro. Nicki Minaj is way better in every category, not just lyrically success, right? I mean, Nicki Minaj got number one records, more success.
Yeah.
Cardi B is a beast. Cardi B is great, but Nicki Minaj is the greatest rapper of all time. Like her or not like her, right? Right? She's the greatest rapper of all time. Female rapper. She's number one. Greatest female rapper of all time is Nicki Minaj.
Okay, cool.
Not even close.
I'm going Cardi B, but go ahead, cool. All right.
Yo, go back to sleep, bro.
I'm not.
Go back to sleep, bro.
I'm biased. I'm going Cardi B. That's what I'm saying.
Cardi B's phenomenal. Both of them are phenomenal artists, right? But Nicki Minaj is different level. But anyway, that being said, spirited as always, fantastic. Yo, we out. All love. Keep subscribing. Keep following. Keep showing love. Keep commenting, people. And we out.
Miss Nixon.
We out.